This morning, I saw this post from Willy Woo. And Willy Woo is a really good Bitcoin analyst. Definitely check him out. He made a tweet saying that the market is selling off due to bogus data, saying that $1 billion worth of Bitcoin was flowing into Gemini. And he goes on to say that because of this sell-off, of course, leveraged traders are being liquidated by the dump. And Glassnode's also came out with a post that said that they have been receiving messages saying that there's an inflow of $1 billion worth of Bitcoin into Gemini, and they're making it clear that this is not correct. The funds that were moving were funds that were already on the exchanges, on the exchange wallets, just being transferred internally on the exchange. So it seems like Bitcoin has recently dumped here, this is the daily chart, because of some false data. And before we get started on this video, I just want to mention that we did cross the 50,000 subscriber level here on YouTube, on my channel, and honestly, my mind is blown. It's been many years, building up this channel, and I cannot thank you guys enough for all the incredible support. And if you're new to this channel, be sure to hit that big red button. Let's try to catch up with Bitcoin. And also be sure to hit that like button. It helps out the channel a lot. Now, moving on to Bitcoin, this is the daily chart. This is our parabolic trend. And this is, of course, the $20,000 all-time high break area into where we are now. And we have this upward sloping parabolic trend line on linear scale, and we also have this upward sloping parabolic resistance line. It seemed like Bitcoin was on track to push up towards, maybe as high as 68,000 on this run, but we did see some FUD, we did see some bears step in, stop the run from happening, and we have dumped below that previous all-time high at 58,000. The good news is that we are still above the parabolic trend line. We are still well above the upward sloping parabolic trend line, and we're also still above this purple 10-day EMA. You guys notice the 10-day EMA, this purple line, has acted as a really solid support indicator on the way up. When you start closing dailies below the 10-day EMA, things start to get bearish. So as long as Bitcoin is closing dailies above the upward sloping parabolic trend line and above the 10-day EMA, I'm going to be remaining bullish, and I do think that we could be creating maybe a rising wedge, squeezing in, or an ascended triangle before the next major breakout. This is still possible. The bullish continuation is still possible. We would also have to be keeping our eye on the MACD. Every time we've had a bullish or bearish cross on the MACD, it's played out so far since we broke 20K. Every time. Every single time. So it's been very reliable recently on the daily chart here. I'm keeping my eye on the moving averages here on the MACD. If we get a nice squeeze and we can maintain these levels, then ultimately we could remain bullish, right? Bitcoin could build positive momentum again and actually continue the parabolic trend. If we do end up getting the bearish cross, then this could actually signal that Bitcoin may be looking to have a slightly longer term correction below the parabolic trend line. That's always possible. And in that event, things could get a little bit ugly, right? We could hit 39,000, 40,000. It's not out of the question. Personally, I am still very bullish. The trend is your friend until the end of the trend, and this trend has not ended. Right? We are still well within the trend. There's still opportunity for Bitcoin to continue bullish. We are still, technically the MACD is still bullish as well until we actually get a bearish cross. We have not gotten that yet. And another key indicator when it comes to these parabolic trends is looking at the volume. We've actually seen a nice decline in volume on the way up. Generally, like the average volume line has been actually on a decline. And I want to show you guys something. This is the 2017 chart. Ignore the lines on the screen right there. This is the 2017 chart. When we broke the all-time high here at 1200, right? We had 1, 2 parabolic advances, and currently we're at this stage in the run for Bitcoin, where we are now. We're actually up here. We just had another breakout. We're at that stage. And we also had a decline in average volume leading up to this exact point in 2017, and the average volume line was actually trending down. It was actually trending down, right? And then once we broke out, and we actually gained enough support, that's when the volume started to pick back up all the way into the next all-time high at 20,000. Major moves. And currently for Bitcoin, we're in a very similar position. What do we see? We have 1, 2 parabolic advances above the all-time high, and we're at that third phase where the volume may actually start to go the other way, start to pick up as we enter higher levels, right? As the true mania phase begins. I actually don't think that we're in the mania phase yet. Yes, Bitcoin is in a bull market, but it's not necessarily considered the mania phase. The mania phase is when the chart, goes completely parabolic. We create support along that previous parabolic resistance, and we enter those 6-digit levels. There's probably gonna be a ton of volatility on the way, but ultimately I'm looking for a target, at least 150K to upwards of 250,000 on this run. And I think it's gonna happen faster than people expect. And I'm still looking for that increase in volume, right? The volume signature right here, where we are right now for Bitcoin, the volume signature for where we are currently, there was no major spike in volume on that last top here at 61, 62,000. No major peak in volume. And that tells me that that's not a climax in a motion. That's not a major market cycle top. It's not a major market cycle top. And it seems like that the long-term holders are also at a point similar to 2017 when we were at the middle of this run. There's still a lot of demand for Bitcoin is building up. We haven't reached these peak levels yet. And like I was just saying, the market structure still seems like it's not a market cycle top. And, currently we're at a point where it's like mid-bull run. If you compare it to 2017, it's like mid-run. And then ultimately, we're going to be seeing our final mania phase. And like I was saying in my previous video, the final mania phase is going to be fueled by all the money that's still on the sidelines, all the people and the funds, Wall Street, that are still on the sidelines that don't have exposure to crypto. They're going to get anxiety. Even the whales, even the big money, they're going to get anxiety that they don't own crypto, and they're going to feel like we have to own crypto. We're going to look so bad if we don't own crypto. And they're going to FOMO in, probably causing the last major mania phase, retail and institutions alike, actually. Another key thing I want to mention is that I believe that Wall Street is also going to pump up the price of Bitcoin over the next many months as high as they possibly can so that they can launch the ETF, short Bitcoin, know with a very high degree of certainty that Bitcoin has topped out, and they can lock in those profits almost guaranteed on the way down, right? So that's kind of what I expect. I am still bullish on Bitcoin. I think we're about to enter the second half of the bull run, final mania phase, running us all the way into the summer of this year. That's still what I think. And right now the volume, again, it does not suggest a market cycle top. We will probably start to see steady volume come in and then a huge increase in volume leading into the end of the bull run. Be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to this channel if you're new, and I'll see you guys in the next video.